All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, episode 1. The boys are back in studio. It's a good time. It's a great day. Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome in. We are live on Twitter and on YouTube. We're on X and YouTube. We're here with my co-host, Rodney Sorensen. Rodney, how are we doing today?
I'm feeling fantastic. Jake Jix actually moved here, pumped up to be in Tampa, And it's weird that we're still calling it Twitter. How long do you think until we're not calling it Twitter anymore?
I think always.
Yeah,
I'm always going to call
so
it Twitter.
too.
Let me see if we're live on Twitter. We are live on Twitter. Already 200 people are here, guys. Make sure to retweet this if you have not yet. Retweet this video. Drop some comments below. We are both on our laptops. This is episode 1, so we're going to be figuring out, but we will be engaging. We got some people in here. Mustafa is already on the channel. So, Rodney, let's do a quick overview of the cryptocurrency markets today. So, a little bit of red in the markets right now. Cryptocurrency at a $2.22 trillion market cap, down about 1.74% on the day. Bitcoin 63,000, ETH 2,700, BNB 560, Solana 157, XRP. That was our favorite stablecoin for a while. It was remember, it was at 52 cents for a long time. At 59 cents today. Dogecoin is at 10 cents. Tron just flipped Toncoin.
Love it.
A lot of stuff going on with Toncoin and Tron. We should talk about those. But Tron, obviously the meme coin that had the most hype this past 2 weeks. Toncoin, the founder was arrested in France, which we'll dive into. Cardano at a $13 billion market cap. Avalanche number 12. Shiba Inu still a top 13 cryptocurrency. And Pepe is now the number 25 ranked cryptocurrency in the entire world. Nice. So interesting to see what's going on here, guys. As we mentioned, Tron, that's going to be the focus of this stream today. Tron and the ecosystem for what they've built. We saw a new launch yesterday or this past week for Bull, which ran all the way up to a $300+ million market cap. Another great call by Crashes Clay. I think it's sitting at a $200 million market cap today. Yeah. Sundog right around a $300 million market cap. But is it all hype for Tron, or do you think this is going to be a chain that's going to live on?
Yeah, so I think it's going to live on. So I think that obviously we talk about this a lot. Like what's different about this cycle is the fact, in 2021, people weren't really like on meme coins like that. And the truth is like, really besides Bitcoin and ETF news, that's the only exciting thing. So I like the fact that Justin Sun is like getting out there and like leaning into the meme coin craze. Like no one else is really doing that like publicly. They all understand that meme coins help the ecosystem because you got to buy the native coin, but they're not out there. Crypto Banter, you were on that show yesterday, You know what I mean? And he's just leaning into it. Like he likes the culture. He understands the value it brings to the ecosystem. And yeah, I think it's here to stay, because they got a leader in front of them.
Yeah, we were on the show yesterday with Crypto Banter. Me, Crashes Clay, Spider, Justin Sun was on there. I didn't get to talk to Justin Sun.
Yeah.
Right after the show, he started a DAO on Tron in order to get the Telegram founder out of prison. He's in prison right now. I know Vladimir Putin is vouching for that as well. What's your take on that? I'll pull up an article while we discuss it. But what's your take on the Telegram founder getting put in prison for things that are happening on his platform? And it's not good what's happening on his platform. Like that's where I go to get videos of what's going on with the war in Ukraine and Russia. Also with videos going on with Israel and Gaza, what's happening there. I do believe there's some bad things that are taking place on his platform. But as the man that created a technology, should you be in charge of moderating 1 billion+ people that use your application on a monthly basis?
Yeah, that's kind of wild too, because it reminds me of like the Binance situation, because Binance is like a real decentralized exchange. There are people who are doing some real shady stuff on there. It's like, if you're like if you think about like what DeFi is, it's like, hey, we have a protocol, we have a system, you guys do what you want. No one's really being monitored. That's a true part of decentralization. But if you think about it, I mean, there's some heinous things that go on, that it's just hard to moderate all of it. Because I've heard some pretty crazy things going on Telegram. Obviously, in anything, you have bad actors, right? You have a few people kind of ruin it for the rest of the people. But it is kind of scary how, you could just travel to another country and just get arrested, probably not even knowing, Didn't he like leave Russia to get away from that? And now he's like getting arrested in France, and now Russia's trying to get him out.
Well, I think Russia has his back. We'll pull this up right here. You can see right here that... let's pull this up. So Bricks News says Russia Telegram founder Pavel Durov is a political prisoner and a victim of a witch hunt by the West. So that's what Russia says. He was arrested. This was him before, and I guess he has $14 billion. But obviously Elon Musk is even calling for the release of Telegram founder Pavel Durov, as arrest sparks debate whether owner may be next. There's a good article. Owner Elon Musk has sprung to the defense of the founder of the controversial messaging app Telegram, calling for the 39-year-old to be released from French custody. The spectacular arrest of Pavel Durov on the tarmac of Paris's La Bourget airport just after his private jet touched down on Sunday elicited an intense debate over where exactly the boundaries of protected free speech and the rule of law begins. It's a confusing one.
Yeah.
Honestly, for me, it's a little bit confusing because like I understand and we can't really say exactly what's going on because we are on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
But bad things with kids, I'm sure with drugs, a lot of illegal activities. But for me personally, and look, I don't know too much into it, but he just created the technology.
Yeah.
And there is bad stuff happening, but it kind of reminds me of Silk Road, right?
Yeah.
You know, Ross created the technology.
Yeah.
There was drug dealing and whatnot happening on there. He got charged with that. Do you think anything has to do with the war in Russia? Do you think that it could be some sort of a political prisoner?
I think it could be. I think that a lot of these other countries, like we see what's going down in the UK, right? You say something crazy on the internet, you can get clapped, thrown in jail and stuff like that. I think that, this really makes me appreciate living in the United States. We're not perfect, but at least I can criticize people for the most part on the internet without like, trying to incite any violence or anything like that and not worry about like getting arrested. But yeah, I mean, it's a tricky situation. The Ross Ulbricht situation is interesting too with the Silk Road because he was kind of a degen at the same time. But yeah, it could be some sort of political move. I mean, who knows, but obviously they're going to spin it that way too. Obviously, war with Ukraine and Russia right now. Obviously we're friends with all those guys and stuff like that. So they're going to make it, they're going to, put their kind of piece of propaganda out there. We're going to put ours out there and whatnot. So I just think that, it's kind of messed up. There's like no warrant, no nothing, just right when you land. They're probably waiting for him to get there too. You know what I mean? Just to clap him when he gets to that country.
Yeah. So
Elon Musk, though, is interesting. What do you think about that?
I mean, if they're going to get Pavel, I mean, the same stuff is happening on X. I don't know, like, it's just very hard. Like, how hard would it be to censor every single tweet that comes out? I mean, you have to have really good algorithms and AI bots. I know Meta had some issues with that, right? Meta was one of the, and like I said, we're on YouTube, so I want to be careful with the language that we use, but Meta was one of the biggest websites in the world where bad things were happening with children. Yeah. And they got called out for that. Zuckerberg's not in jail. Zuckerberg wasn't arrested.
Yeah.
But I think it is a fine line. I think that for Elon, especially, like, he needs to walk a fine line. Like, is he going to be safe if Elon goes to France? Will he be safe? I think he was just there for the Olympics, actually.
Yeah. I don't know. But the interesting part is, like, Elon Musk is kind of like, obviously he's a billionaire, he's a rich guy, right? X is kind of like his side quest. He didn't need to do X, but he really created this like real internet, where people just say things. Sometimes they're offensive. Obviously, if it's not blatant, like, anything like completely illegal, at least in the United States, or like inciting violence or stuff like that. I think that, or like doxing people. We know a few people that got doxed or clapped for doxing. Shout out to Pauly, those sorts of things. I think that, he's just kind of spearheading this movement. I think we need someone out there who has big balls enough, right, to like stand up to the other social media websites. Because before, it's like, where could you go? Now you can go to X. Can't go to YouTube, can't go to Facebook, Instagram. They're all TikTok. TikTok is the softest platform.
Yep.
Like, I'm just glad Elon Musk. There's some sort of danger. Remember, the UK government came out and pretty much said, "Hey, man, watch what you say," pretty much. And they said they're going to extradite U.S. citizens and stuff like that. So he's just being a martyr, I think, in my opinion.
I don't think he should travel. I don't think that Elon should be traveling right now, especially to Europe with what's going on. But this was like everything that the West warned us about Russia and China, and it's kind of happening here in the West. But I would imagine that Elon sees this and he's going to be a little bit more careful about where he travels to. What's the chat thing, guys? Someone said protect Elon at all costs. Let us know what your thoughts are. Everyone's saying free Durov in the chat. I mean, it's got to be interesting. Yeah, he was just on a private jet. He goes to France and ends up in prison, potentially a political prisoner. We don't really know. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. Let's take a look at the top meme coins today. Meme coin markets right now. So Dogecoin, still the number one meme coin in the world, $16 billion market cap. Shiba Inu, $8 billion market cap. Pepe, $3.7 billion market cap. Dog with Hat, still a top 50 meme coin in the world at a $1.8 billion market cap. Floki, Bonk as well, both above $1 billion. Bread on Base sitting right around $8 billion market cap. Some other ones, honorable mentions, shout outs to Memecoin, right around a $400 million market cap for Memecoin. How about Sundog breaking into the top 15?
I love it.
Launched about 3 weeks ago. GigaChat as well, sitting around a $200 million market cap. We love Ponke. And then rounding out the top, we also have Nero in the top 300, which launched probably less than a month ago. That can segue us into our next conversation, which is narratives, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we saw a lot of these tokens, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, Pepe, they've been around for a long time. But how about tokens like Sundog? How about tokens like Nero? And probably Bull as well, which we'll talk about, which launched less than a week ago.
Yeah.
You can still find good gems pretty new in this meme coin cycle. I know it's been pretty boring for the most part.
Yeah.
It hasn't been exciting, but there are still gems coming out in the meme coin space.
Yeah, most definitely. And I love the like the change in like the kind of perception people have on meme coins now. It's not about use case utility. It's all about narratives, right? Obviously, Doge, SHIB are going to be there because their OGs are on every exchange. They're going to be traded like big meme coins are. But yeah, man, narratives are really important. And I think the biggest, like the most important thing out of all this is really just being in the space. You have to be in the game with meme coins. Like if you don't know what the meta is, if you don't know who's calling what, like imagine if you were part of Crash's Telegram. Imagine if you just followed that guy. Like you would know right away when something's being launched or something's being pushed or what's the hottest meme coin or what's the hottest narrative right now. Like you have to be in the game. So narratives are huge. It's the most important part of the meme coin space right now. Culture, narratives, and of course, community.
So you know? I agree with you guys. And if you are watching this, we're 10 minutes in. Make sure to retweet us. We have 1,300 viewers so far. We're going to try to hit at least 10K. We are doing this every single weekday, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Not sure what time it is in Europe, but we will be doing this Monday through Friday. Rodney just moved here. LFG Now is in the chat. What's up, brother?
What
said,
up?
Oh my God, the setup. Yeah, we got it pretty dialed in. And we got our guy Brandon here. This will be the #1 show in the crypto space. And honestly, #1 live stream here on X in due time. But let's take a look at some of these Tron meme coins.
Oh, baby.
So Sundog, the top Tron meme coin in the world right now, launched on August 15th. It's August 26th today, so 11 days old. Already at, excuse me, already at a $300 million market cap.
Love it. Yeah, wild. You know, to the moon, to the sun. It seems crazy. Justin's son, you know what I mean? And it's a dog. The narratives, they kind of all go together. And it's one of the first like movers, right? So yeah, I mean, the narratives are wonky for Tron, but I like it, right? It's a theme, and we see it. Sundog, Suncat, you know, Wukong, stuff like that. Yeah, man, I like the narrative, and it's, you know, Tron is a great ecosystem, and it has the benefits of, you know, Solana or Base, which, you know, people really saw the value in this bull run, you know, not getting taxed hundreds of dollars to trade some tokens, you know. So yeah, it makes perfect sense to me. I mean, what do you think about this run? You know,
I like it, man. Like I said, he was on Justin Sun came on to Crypto Banter Space yesterday. He loves meme coins. When you look at what happened with the price of Tron, which we can just do real quickly, I mean, Tron was, I don't want to say it was a dead token. But there wasn't much happening on Tron, right? Look at the year. I mean, honestly, on the year, it still performed well, but it was trading at 7 cents back in March when crypto ran up. It almost increased by 100%. It went up to about 15 cents, but it wasn't really doing too much. But look at right here, when we zoom in here to the past week. This is when they launched meme coins, August 7th. And look what happened from 12 cents all the way up to 17 cents. One of the only tokens in the top 10 that was in the green on the month. Tron is up about 20%. Most meme coins are down. So I like it. I mean, we understand that meme coins are hot. You know, there's a lot of attention in the meme coin space.
Attention economy.
People are making money. People are investing because they're part of communities. But people are also getting wrecked as well.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I personally believe that 99% of meme coins will go to zero at some point in time. And even like most are going to go to zero. But even it's tough to win too. I mean, there's a lot of tokens. There's a lot of scams. Like, what's your take on the Pump Fun and the Sun Pump platforms where anyone can launch a meme coin? I'm pretty sure when Sun Pump first launched, they had like 8,000 different meme coins that launched in the first 6 days. Yeah, I mean that can't be good for crypto.
Yeah, the vast majority of the projects are either like straight out just pump and dumps or like failed projects, right? We know we don't want to go too hard on developers. Some of them need to be going hard on, I guess. Pause. But you know, a lot of them, you know, just fail, right? They try to put a good meme out there because a lot of memes aren't good. A lot of the narratives don't make sense and they just fail. But yeah, I mean, a lot of these tokens, and look, the responsibility has to be on some of the people out there, because we know when you're getting on Pump Fund or a Sun Pump, a lot of these guys are here to make a quick buck, and it's usually the last person out, the exit liquidity, that has a big problem with that. But if someone made money, they're good, you know. So it's like you got to be equipped. You know, if you're going to be buying something, if you're going to be trading something, you need to make sure you know what you're doing. Right? Because a lot of people get in, they get wrecked, and they want to blame everybody else. But the truth is, we know what Pump Fund is for. We know what Sun Pump is for. Sometimes you'll get a sender, right? We'll get something that lasts, you know, very few, right? The exception, not the rule. But most of the time, they're quick pump and dumps. I mean, what do you think about that? Like, you know, the putting the responsibility on the person, like actually buying these on these platforms.
I think it's all in the like. I go to Sun Pump and I don't buy anything, right? Yeah. You know, I look at it, and you know, even how it's set up. Let's see if it's still pinned in the Justin Sun's profile.
It's just like Pump Fund, you know?
It's just like Pump Fund. Let's see. Does he have it pinned? Yeah, he does. So right here, we'll go to his page. So this is Sun Pump. Yeah. I don't recommend anybody to go in here. Look at this. And they do it by launch time. I guess you can do it by market cap.
Yep.
Let's see what market cap looks like. Okay, so it has the top one. So you have Sundog number 1, you have Tron Bull number 2, you have Dragon Sun, Invest Zone, Sun Wukong, Muncat, Fofar, Suncap. But the fact that they have this usually by launch time, like when you join in, I mean $6,000 market cap. Like, look at this XXX token. It's like no one should be buying any of these.
Not,
all of these are going to go to zero. They're probably all just launched by some dude in another country.
So
I personally, I don't think that this is good for crypto. I don't think that this is good for crypto. The fact that like anyone can just launch a token and then people can buy it, you know, because most of these are going to be rugs. You don't know if they're like safe, launches, if they're honeypots, whatnot. So personally, I think that meme coins can be good for cryptocurrency. They can help onboard a lot of people, but the current state of meme coins, I just don't think is really the best. And it's not built for longevity, in my opinion.
Yeah, no. I mean, we've seen some big projects, like obviously they've been here for a while. I don't, meme coins, like the hype of all of them is relatively new. I think since 2021, we've had some people stay around the space for a little bit. Shib, Doge, maybe Floki, some of those. But really, yeah, I mean, they kind of have a lifespan, and they, especially the big ones, they kind of just move with the market. They're here for a good time, not a long time, most of them. So I think the point is like, it's okay to buy meme coins, but you just need to make sure you know what you're doing. And for the love of God, obviously none of this is financial advice, but I always, recommend taking profits. I think it's a miracle at all if you make money in any meme coins. It's a miracle. So why not take some profits? But yeah, I mean, they're not sustainable. Most of them are not sustainable. And people only hear about the winners. I mean, how many losers do you see on a daily basis?
I mean, thousands.
But in your algorithm, you see all the high market cap ones, and everybody's tweeting about it because it's good for engagement and those sorts of things, So yeah, I mean, the truth is the vast majority are losers, right? You just need to know what you're doing.
Yep. And this appears to be a winner here. This is the Tron Bull.
Yeah.
Anything that Crashes Clay calls usually has a lot of success. This is a good narrative here for Tron Bull, though, because when you go to the actual Tron DAO website, which we'll take a look at in a second, they have this image. Like this is who Tron used before Tron Bull came around. So it has that relatability factor. This launched, the Tron Bull, looks like on August 22nd. It launched, ran all the way up to over a $300 million market cap, currently trading at $181 million market cap today. The volume is pretty insane too. $14.32 million in 24-hour trading volume. Let's take this to our audience, guys. We want to interact with you guys. Do any of you guys, how many of you have learned how to use Tron, have bridged over to Tron? I know Rodney's made a good video on how to buy on Tron, bridge over on Tron. But there is that little lag period that people in the crypto space have in order to go over to another chain. We saw it with Base Chain. We saw it with Solana. Everyone's comfortable on BNB. Everyone's comfortable on Ethereum. And going over to Tron is a little bit differently. How? Because you explained it to me last week, how to go over to Tron. What's like the easiest way? What's the website that people can use if they are interested in going over to the Tron chain? Yeah,
most definitely. I did make a video on it. It's super easy. And once you do this a few times, you realize it doesn't matter what system you're on. It's just a different decentralized exchange. It's just a different wallet. Sometimes if they're EVM compatible, which means they have like an Ethereum like address, it's literally the same. So you want to go to TronLink wallet to make sure you get your wallet. And then you can use a decentralized exchange like changenow.io. And I can share my screen here. And I can show you guys here, changenow.io. Let me see. Changenow.io. And it's pretty easy. I mean, all you got to do, say if you want to swap some Ethereum for Tron, you click Ethereum, you go and click Tron right here, TRX, and you can go ahead and get the conversion rate. Like 0.3 ETH is going to be about 4,861. And what you do is you just kind of go ahead and paste your payout address right here. And then once you're done with that, you go ahead and just send the ETH to an address they have here. I'm not going to pull up my Tron address right here, but you can do that right here. And obviously you can get the TronLink wallet for your phone, or you can get like an extension just like Phantom or MetaMask, but it's super easy to get started. A lot of people overcomplicate it. And then once you get started with the wallet, you just use what's a decentralized exchange? What do they have? Like SunSwap or something? Is it SunSwap? Yeah, SunSwap. And then it's like Uniswap or, Aerodrome or whatever, right? It's all the same thing. Same but different, but super easy to get started. And that's important, Jake, because you got to make sure you front run these, right? Like how long did it take for you to get on Solana? Like it took me a while.
Yep.
I was stuck on ETH. I thought, Ethereum meme coins are popping, Pepe's popping, but then we had Dog with Hat, we had Bonk, we had, Ponky and stuff like that. So get ahead of the game, get ahead of the curve. That's how you win in the space also.
Absolutely. And we were just talking about Bull. One of the reasons I like it, look, you go to the Tron DAO Twitter account. Like I said, it's that relatability factor. They do post other images, but when we scroll down, I think it was a couple days ago, they posted, here it is. they have the Tron bull.
Yeah.
Like it's the mascot of the Tron chain.
Seems simple, but it's like important.
It's just that relatability factor.
Yeah.
Like you see Tron tweeting about it. You see a token launch.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, oh, this is legit. And so far, it had a very, very, very good launch. What's your take? I haven't really read all the comments. All I saw were some of Cassius Clay's tweets. I guess people are coming at him for calling this token. But I mean, look, he called it a $6 million market cap.
Yeah.
It ran up to a $300 million market cap. I mean, I think regardless, you're going to get hate either way.
Yeah.
You know?
I think the biggest thing the biggest pieces of criticism I've seen is one, liquidity is low. Guys, newsflash. Meme coins that like hit over like 10, 20 million, the liquidity is always relatively low. You know what I mean? It's always relatively low. Like that's just part of the game. The other one is supply control. Now, here's the thing. I like bubble maps. I think bubble maps is a good tool in this space. And they do call a lot of people out with supply control. It could be good. It could be bad. Because the truth is, and I made this mistake too when I, making my own project, I didn't control enough of the supply. And when you don't have enough of the supply, you can't hold a strong floor. You can't, pay for exchanges. You can't pay for influence and those sorts of things because all those things cost money. But also it's kind of a double-edged sword. It could be bad because if you have a couple bad apples or something like that, it could dump all at once. But if someone has a good track record in the space, like Crash does and other people, right, then I would rather be in a meme coin where the vast majority of the supply is held by a few people. And I know people think that's crazy and those sorts of things. I get it. I understand. But it can go well, it can go bad. But from my experience, the top projects usually have a lot of the supply control. And Jake, I mean, top meme coins, 50% of the supply is usually held by like 5% of the holders. That's just usually how it is in meme coins.
Yeah. And I think what Cassius Clay is saying is like, it's better to be held by people who are going to hold it. Like that was the thing with Brett, right?
Yes.
Everyone was giving Brett shit because 80% of the supply was held by I don't know how many people. How many people? 50, 100?
It was very small. Yeah, very small.
So it was held by a small amount of people, but the token ran up to a $2 billion market cap.
A miracle.
So even when people were holding it, they weren't selling it, and everybody was making money.
Yeah.
And it's dropped back down to like an $800+ million market cap, which is still very, very high for a meme coin. So supply control, I think if it's held by the right people, it's a good thing. But I've seen tokens recently who have held the supply. And guess what? It was held by bad people, and they ended up it
was DJT. I think they pulled like 2.1 million in a day. So that's the bad part of it, right? But I think it's important that people know these things. Like my opinion, like as long as I've been in the space, the more I know about like the shadiness that can be sometimes, and like the things you don't know, like that are behind the scenes. I think bubble maps is a fantastic tool. Like that, those are good things to know, especially if you're aping in smaller cap meme coins, because those are the ones you need to look out for. If you see $1 billion meme coin or a hundreds of millions of dollars in value, and the supply is controlled by a few people, it's good to know, but understand like obviously they held to get there. Like that's their investment too. But those small cap meme coins that you see on Pump Fund, that you see like 90% of the supply like sniped already and those sorts of things, that's where it can be dangerous.
Yeah, it'll be interesting, this whole crypto space. So back to the cryptocurrency markets, we'll take another look here. Yeah. Let's just give our thoughts. And guys, obviously not financial advice. I mean, look, all of these could go up. They could go to zero. We have no idea. But Bitcoin at $63,000, Ethereum at $2,700, BNB at $550, Solana at $157.
Nice.
For me personally, I mean, I do think that we are in the beginning stages of the bull run. I'll pull up a tweet here in just a second that I posted last night regarding election seasons and bull runs.
Big.
I mean, what's your take? Do you think that we will continue on this 4-year cycle and we will see a massive bull run this year? Or do you think a lot of it depends on what happens in the US and the elections?
It's a big deal, right? So I think we're going to have a bull run no matter what. I think we're going to continue to be green no matter what. Obviously, there's a thought of war. I mean, maybe another pandemic, those sorts of things. Obviously, who's going to be elected president? Interest rate cuts, and there's so many things that are outside of crypto that is a big factor that affects crypto. But obviously, if Kamala gets elected, we still have Gary Gensler, right? Donald Trump said he'd fire him on the first day, which is goated, They're saying they're pro-crypto now, but they understand that's popular. They'll say anything to get elected, right? Now, people say that about Trump, but to be fair, at least he started running on pro-crypto sentiment. These guys are anti. Now they're like, oh, it matters to some people. It may be the difference in some swing states. Let's just be pro-crypto now. I mean, these guys will flip, I guarantee, as soon as they get in office. We'll see. There's a lot of people there's a lot of Democrats that are fighting for crypto. There's a lot of prominent ones that are pro crypto, but it's about the powers that be. And if Gary Gensler's still there, he obviously has a vendetta, some sort of vendetta. I think it's bad for cryptocurrency. But yeah, I think it will affect it. So I think that obviously if we get a Trump presidency, I do think we're going to see some insane numbers. I think he's just good for the economy in general. Obviously, things are bad right now. Ish, right? And if Kamala gets elected, I think we're still going to pump, but we may not have the maximum potential. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I think that, even whoever gets elected, I think they need to have a good crypto board around them.
Somewhat, right?
Yeah. And I heard that Donald Trump at the Bitcoin conference had like the Winklevoss brothers, Coinbase, team, Gemini team there talking to him.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, even though I think that he is going to be good for crypto, I don't think he knows that much about cryptocurrency.
No, he can't. I mean, how much can one guy possibly know? He probably has a few guys in his ear saying, "Hey, man, you need to talk about this. You need to talk about that," and those sorts of things. But yeah, I mean, I've heard him speak about cryptocurrency before, but I think that a lot of the hate, in my opinion, is just misunderstanding. Like we saw BlackRock flip and those sorts of things. Bitcoin hasn't really changed since then, really. It's the same thing. Obviously, it's higher in how much it's worth. But yeah, I think a lot of it's just misunderstanding. I think once you understand cryptocurrency, it becomes less foreign, because that's what I've seen with my friends in everyday life. Like my landlord, when I first met him a year ago, was like, crypto scam, FTX. And now before I was leaving, I onboarded him onto MetaMask. You know what I mean? So it's just understanding the space. Once you understand something, it becomes less scary.
Yeah, I think that we just need some clear guidelines in terms of cryptocurrency. Like, even when it comes to developers, even when it comes to marketing, even when it comes to buying tokens, right? Capital gains taxes, how to report cryptocurrency.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still not even really clear guidelines on how to report your cryptocurrency.
It's tough. Yeah.
I mean, it's capital gains, but like if you get paid for something, you report that as income. So I think that it's just such a new space that there needs to be some sort of a guideline from a governing body, but something that's helping and incentivizing people to stay in the crypto space. Because right now, what we've seen is just like this overarching stop cryptocurrency, at all costs. And I think it's pushed a lot of people and innovators out of America. But personally, I do think that Donald Trump would be good for crypto. But after listening to his Bitcoin speech at the Bitcoin conference, I was like, I don't think he really knows that much.
He was just saying stuff. Yeah.
He was reading the teleprompter, he was reading a teleprompter. And even when people were cheering, he'd be like, how did I know that? He's like, and the number one rule of Bitcoin is to hold your Bitcoin and never sell it. Everybody's like, And he's like, how did I know that? How did I know that?
Yeah.
And even when he said the piece about Gary Gensler, he's like, oh, he must be hated. He didn't even know that Gary Gensler was hated by the crypto community. So I don't know. I think that politicians on both sides will say whatever they need to say to get elected. And I think that crypto is just it's one of those categories that is going to help get people elected, right? The talking points, right? You have crypto, which is honestly a smaller talking point. You have the border, you have stuff about healthcare, you have stuff about schools, you have stuff about, like I said, the border and immigration. So there's talking points, even like communities, right? Like Donald Trump is doing speeches with the Israeli flag because he understands that there's a lot of Jews here in America. They always talk about, I'm the best, or Donald Trump says that, like, I'm the best for Black voters. I've done the most for the Black community. I've done the most for the Hispanics. So they have their talking points at certain categories. And I think that cryptocurrency, fortunately or unfortunately, is just a category that can help get a lot of votes this year.
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, how many Americans own cryptocurrency? A lot, right?
40%.
Yeah, that's wild. At least some. That's absolutely insane, And it just goes to show how important it is. And I don't think they really realized that till recently. And that's why they've been hard on it, I like it though. I think that at the end of the day, if you're in the crypto space now, you're still early. And this is like ETFs, right? That's a brand new thing this year. A politician starting to fight for, our attention. Like, oh, it matters. That's something we need to run on. That's nothing we've seen before, right? So it's a huge deal for us. And it's like, at the end of the day, if the outcome is that them getting paid, for them to pay attention to cryptocurrency and start caring more about it and start trying to innovate here instead of push people out, because that's what we don't want to do, right? For a new technology, we don't want to force people out. We don't want good developers, good project develop, Coinbase, Jesse Polak on Base, like good people that want to build here. We don't want to force them out because they literally can't exist here. So that's good for us at the end of the day,
Absolutely. The founder, Julio says the founder of Telegram got arrested. We covered that earlier. Pretty wild news. It's going to be very, very interesting to see. I think this is like a make or break situation for platforms. So we just saw that the CEO of Rumble, he was actually in Europe when the founder of Telegram got arrested. He waited to comment until he left Europe. He went somewhere else. But I think this is a make or break situation because I mean, really the governments are in control, right? And they're saying, hey, either you censor your platforms or you get put in prison. And that's what we just saw with the Telegram founder. Like I said, I understand that there are some bad things that are probably illegal in certain areas happening on these platforms and probably on X too. But on all of the platforms, I don't think that any platform, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X. And it's so funny how a lot of these changed their names. Meta, X are free of it. But I think if you don't cooperate with the governments in order to try to censor what's going on,
moderate it.
But I think, look, I'm not in favor of censorship, but I don't think that, like, you know, some of the shit that's happening on these platforms should be allowed to be, you know, like on, I've seen so many killings on X in the past week.
Yeah.
Like guys in London getting stabbed in the jugular. Should that be allowed to be on X?
I think that it's real, you know, and I think there should be a way you can kind of, you know, adjust your settings to not see those sorts of things. But to me, I like the internet decentralized. Obviously, if it's like creepy stuff, you know, weird, you know, P-word stuff, you know, that obviously that needs to go, right? But I think that those sorts of things where you're seeing like the like some things are happening overseas that we don't understand. You know, we have a lot of like online activists, you know, on Instagram. They post a picture of like some sort of event or something. The BLM thing killed me. It's like I'm helping, you know, but a lot of people don't understand what's exactly going down overseas in some of these war-torn areas. So I like the realness of it. Like I love the internet like that. But yeah, I mean, if you're scrolling through your feed and you see some guy getting murdered, I mean, obviously that's terrible. You know what I mean? But this is an interesting question here, or a comment here. Someone said, we had all-time highs in 2021. It doesn't matter who gets elected president. I think that's true, but I think that the ceiling is higher for who gets elected. And that was by Custy.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. You know,
Bull Run's not going to be stopped, but I think it could be better.
Yeah,
with a Trump presidency.
And what we saw in 2022 was just different times. I mean, COVID was actually like one of the most bullish catalysts because the money printers turned on, right? And everybody got an extra $1,200. Some people got weekly stimulus checks.
Did you get stimmy?
I think I got $1,200.
Nice. What'd you spend it on? Did you buy crypto?
I mean, I don't remember. It was so long ago. I think I just like put it in my bank. But all my friends, you know, everybody had excess income. One of my buddies was working at a restaurant and he was getting paid more to stay home than to go in. So he's like, why would I go work when I'm getting paid more? And what did he do? He thought he was a day trader, investing. Every single one of my friends was investing them and everything was hitting. I mean, they were just putting money in. I mean, my friends were making like $50,000, $60,000 a month on just stocks. I know nothing about stocks. Just everything was pumping during those times. So I think it was a different time. But yeah, I do think that we are in the midst of a bull run. And I do agree, whether Kamala or Trump is elected, we will still be in a bull run. When it comes to meme coins, a lot of people are calling for this to be the last meme coin cycle.
No way.
True or false?
No way. False. Big false. I get it, but I think big false. I think that now it's clear in the space because meme coins don't need to make sense. Like people like, oh, utility, like all these utility maxis, these people, you know, the Cardano guy. I like these altcoins. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I like the tech. People don't care about the tech. No one cares about the tech, at least not yet, right? They all care about culture. Maybe in the future, but I definitely think we're gonna have a few more meme coin cycles. And I think that right now we're really seeing the strength of meme coins. And I think it's just getting started because what are meme coins? It's just a funny meme, right? That creates some sort of community that you can be a part of. It's culture, you know, it's not serious. It's just fun. You know, and people like that. And maybe you can make some money along the way.
Do you think that everyone should be able to launch a meme coin? Because like, just look at the stock exchange.
It's decentralized.
I know. It's just, this is like where look at the stock exchange, right?
Of course.
I can't personally just launch a stock right now.
No.
Like to launch a stock, you have to have a company, you have to have revenue, you have to have employees, you have to have a valuation, you have to work with the SEC to get the correct filings. Meme coins and crypto is not like that. If we want to just launch a crypto project right now, you can just launch one, right? Do you think that we need some sort of regulation in the crypto space like we do have with stocks?
That'd be tough. You know, that's interesting too, because what I did notice, especially in 2021, there was a lot of companies moving to the blockchain to generate revenue whenever their use case had nothing to do with the space at all. I've seen that a lot all the time. That's a tough one because all you need is a little bit of liquidity. But at the same time, you need to be able to pay for influence because if you can't do that, it's going to die. You need people to have eyes on it. So that's a tricky part too. You can't just launch something and sometimes it'll pump. Maybe it's a good meme, but you need people to talk about it. You need people to get in their algorithm and those sorts of things. You know, X, whatever platforms, you know, make content and those sorts of things. So it's not as easy as just launching a meme coin. But if you get rid of that, I mean, that just takes away from decentralization. It's like that's part of DeFi. People can just do what they want, kind of, you know. Although we have seen that once it gets to a certain level, shout out to Binance, you will get clapped by the three-letter agencies.
Yeah, Binance. I mean, pretty much every centralized exchange
that
has operated has had some sort of a Wells notice, right? Even decentralized exchanges like MetaMask and Uniswap.
Oh, you're just Uniswap, yeah.
What? MetaMask as well.
Oh, MetaMask is a wallet though.
Yeah, but
you mean like a
decentralized protocols.
Oh yeah.
So MetaMask got in trouble. We also saw Uniswap get the Wells notices. I don't know if anything came from that. I think that Consensus actually sued the SEC back.
Yeah.
But the big guys in the face are big guys in the space are fighting back against the SEC. And I know that Ripple just won their lawsuit. They had to pay still a decent amount, but they were forgiven. I think it was around like 94% of what the SEC was actually suing them for. But yeah, it just is a confusing time.
Yeah,
to be a developer in this space, to own a protocol, to create content, to invest, because there's really no clarity. I think I might not be in favor of regulation, but I might be more so in favor of clarity. Clarity.
Well, that's what people have been fighting for, right? We just want something. It's like I was watching this video. I think his name is Patrick Boyle. He made some good content, and he talked about the fact that it's like almost impossible for these crypto exchanges that want to operate. They want to do good things, right? They're not trying to hide, like especially the Coinbase. They're trying to just understand to get some sort of regulation, so we have some clear guidelines on how to operate in the United States. They're trying, but it's like a sick joke with the SEC. Like they don't want crypto exchanges to operate here, so they make it tough for them to do that, you know? So yeah, that's what we wanted. Just clear guidelines, clear rules to follow, pretty much.
Yeah. I mean, if I was president, I would want as many people building legit crypto projects here in America as possible.
Yeah.
And it's like, you know, I think that they need to find a way to tax it too. You know, I've had talks with people offline that are not paying their taxes. I'm like, you realize that like you have to at some point cash out. I mean, the government can track your IP address.
What I've noticed is that if they really want to get you, you're not safe. I mean, there's some ways, but I've seen some high profile people taken down. Like there's an Asian dude in Georgia. He owned lots of Bitcoins, like hundreds of millions of dollars, and they got him too. If they really want to look into your stuff, you're not really safe, you know. But it's about them focusing on you, because right now they don't have the manpower to get everybody. But if they really want to get you, they will. So if you think you're safe, you're not, unless you're in another country, maybe.
That's why you just got to pay your taxes. I was having a talk with someone. I was like, look, every time that I worked, my taxes were just taken out. Yeah. So anytime I make money, I just assume 30% goes to Uncle Sam, or 35%, whatever it is. Yeah. So it's just because it's crypto. If I sell stock, if I sell a Tesla stock, I pay taxes on it.
Of course.
If I sell Ethereum, like you have to report your taxes, but you should still pay taxes on that. I think it's different being an American. Like we're used to it. We're like, ever since we have been born, we've had to pay taxes, right? That's always been a thing. But I think other people coming from other countries are like, oh, you know, I don't have to pay taxes in America. Like they're never going to see it. It's on DeFi. It's not on Coinbase. It's like, you should probably pay your taxes.
Centralized exchanges, I think starting in 2025, they're going to start like actually reporting without because I think right now they only, if someone looks into it, is when they really have to show what's going on. But I think in 2025, there's those rules for that. So I just think use a centralized exchange. They're pretty good if you're cashing out and stuff like that. They keep track of everything. Coinbase is pretty good at keeping track of everything. So yeah, just follow the rules, because when it comes time for people to look into you, if they look into you, it's not where you want to be. Just
get a tax guy. That's what I would. That's what I would say. Like I just send him all my wallets. They do all the transactions. They record it all. But there is confusion even for me. That's why I don't do it, because it's like, all right, so if I sell my ETH into USDC, like do you sell it at the time that you received your ETH? You know. Anyway, so get a good crypto CPA. We can recommend some. I have some that are like incredible that can go through every blockchain. It's very, very confusing, but I would imagine that the IRS is having a hard time just like reconciling all these different wallets that they're looking into it, you know, like the Tron wallet, the Solana wallet. When did you get it? Selling NFTs? When did you buy your NFT? When you traded your NFT? You sent your NFT to a separate wallet. There's a lot of stuff that goes on.
There's this funny meme that says the SEC looking through all my transactions to find a $2 profit, you know, because I mean, that's what it is sometimes, you know, you see all these different, you know what I mean, trades and stuff like that just to make a $2 profit, you know. Yeah, but it is tough. But, you know, follow the rules as best as you can. I think that if you just put your best foot forward, you know, and someone looks through it, you're probably okay. But
just pay your taxes. That's what it comes down to.
Most definitely.
Just pay your taxes. And I think that's something good. What's up, Burn by Say Thomas? So the boys are back. What's up, fellas?
Oh, what's up? We got a Volt fam in the house. That's old school.
We do this every single day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. PST. Shout out to Doe, very, very active in the chat. Shout out to Ann. Shout out to Abadu. Fear is here. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, we're going early. I like being on the East Coast time because right now it's 8:41.
East Coast is goated, bro, with the timing, bro. When I moved here first, I loved it, bro. Like being able to just be up for all the West Coast people, you get a little advantage, you know?
Yeah, I think that this is a good time because you can hit Europe as well. Guys, let us know in the chat where you guys are streaming in from. Are you in America? Are you in Asia? Are you in Europe? Are you in Africa? maybe even Antarctica. Let us know in the chat where you guys are here from. Like I said, we do this every single weekday, Monday through Friday. And we might even be doing some night streams as well.
Absolutely. But more like chill, more personal, a little bit of crypto stuff here, but it's going to be sick. And let us know where you're from in the United States. Where you guys at? Any Floridians in here? Dude, this place is crazy. I absolutely love it. I've been here for 2 days. I'm ready to retire.
It's a free state.
Shout out to DeSantis.
Shout out to DeSantis. Yeah, he did a really, really good job, especially during COVID. We have someone from Somalia.
No, he's trolling. He's not
from Somalia. Oh, a pirate
from a skyscraper in Somalia. Let's go.
France is in the house. What's up, France? Gabo's from France. Is that a Brett logo? Brazil. I just start my coffee. So still good morning. Good morning. Nice. Good morning. We're drinking some Celsius. You need a Zen? Give it a Zen.
Oh, let me get an upper decky.
Give it a Zen stream. Dropped it.
That was a bad throw. Bad toss.
It was actually good. I was aiming for the microphone. We got Jeff in Florida. Dustin's from Florida. Where are you guys from in Florida?
Ooh, are we neighbors? Jeff, another Floridian in the house.
We got some Floridians. We have someone from Iraq.
Middle East in the house.
Son Pepe in Tampa. What's your thoughts on protecting your crypto using something like a ledger?
Yes, I think it's important. It's not as important if you're very careful. The thing is, like, I'm very careful with clicking links. I don't get duped. But if I see Vitalik post about it, some sort of free airdrop, I'm not going to do it. But at the same time, like, get a ledger. Learn how to use a ledger. I made a video on it. It's pretty outdated. Maybe I need to make a new one. But learn how to use a ledger. It's good to have a cold storage, especially for like your Bitcoin and like, you know, your tokens that you're not trying to trade all the time. Tokens and coins you're not trying to trade all the time. Yeah. What about you?
Well, I use I have like a crypto computer.
That's a good way too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk to them about that, because a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, so I have like what we're using right now. This laptop right here is a streaming laptop. It's connected to Telegram. It's connected to Twitter. It's connected to like my phones. There's very little crypto on here. I mean, pretty much zero. And I have a separate computer that has no connections to anything. No email, no phone, no just MetaMask, Phantom Wallet. Yeah. And so I trade on there. So it's not connected. And I don't even know if that's the safest. And there's a little bit of crypto on there, not much. Whenever I make a transaction or a sale, let's say I buy Ethereum, I'll send it to a hardware wallet to get it offline, right? Still online, but a little bit safer. There's like 2FA. You have to know a password. You have to have it in hand in order to make a transaction. But that's kind of my strategy. I mean, even I got SIM card swapped. I didn't get any crypto hacked because I have no crypto on my phone either. Yeah. So they were able to get into my phone. They logged into my Twitter. I think they logged into my email, or they might have. I think that was 2FA. But that's something. I got SIM card swapped.
Wild.
At the time, my Twitter didn't have 2FA on. It had 2FA with my phone number. So they were able to get into my phone number, text themselves a link to reset my Twitter password, log into my Twitter password, and then put on 2FA on my actual Twitter account, lock me out. And they tweeted some stuff from my account. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird world where you can, I mean, why is it where you can click a link and lose all your crypto?
Yeah, you click it and you connect your wallet. So this is a heinous scam. It happened to one of my friends, and I actually gave him some crypto because I felt bad. He was talking to a project developer about something. They had him download a program, and they were able to clean him out like that, which is wow. Which I would never download something from someone, but if you're not savvy in the crypto space, like, you're probably like, yeah, whatever, you know?
Yeah.
Good antivirus too. Get a good antivirus, because antivirus will tell you if a link looks suspicious and those sorts of things. It may weed out a lot of the meme coin, like legit websites, which I've noticed. Like, they'll say that they'll put a red flag on the like legit meme coin websites, but it's good to have the antivirus that checks links for you, that checks downloads for you, all sorts of things. So a trading computer is fantastic too, but maybe if you can't afford another computer, get an antivirus or a cold storage wallet.
What is a crypto forensics person? Forensics? That sounds like murder scenes.
That's a person who can look through the wallet, like can really look through the blockchain and stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I know
a couple people.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
Yeah, I have a guy that goes through every wallet. You just send him the wallet, send him the chains. He goes through, finds out like when you bought a token, when you sold a token, what was your profit, what was your loss, et cetera, et cetera. So I could recommend one. Maybe we'll get him on the stream one time. He's very good.
Or just a person looking through other people's wallets, yeah, like Skywalker, like a Zach XBT, something like that.
Okay. Yeah. There's some good people out there, but so 2FA. Also, I'd never click links. You know, people will send me a link, even a Dex. Like, even if Rodney sends me a Dextools chart,
I'm trying to scam Jake. I'm trying to scam you.
Yeah, I won't click the link, but I'll, let's say someone's like, hey, check out this chart, even if it's a friend, really, because you don't know if it's a fake Telegram that got got a Europop Telegram or a Hanok Telegram. I'll just say, hey, send me the contract address. I'll take the contract address. I'll put it in a link. I think you also have to be careful too with sending cryptocurrency, like double checking and verifying that you're sending it to the correct address.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that's a tough one too, because cryptocurrency is so brutal. Here's like the pros and cons of like a centralized exchange. Sometimes you can get some things back. Sometimes, especially like a regular bank. If you send like money to the wrong person, you could probably work that out between banks because it has to like settle and those sorts of things. But if you're sending like anything from just a non-custodial wallet, like you're effed. If you send it to the wrong address and they don't want to send it back to you, they're having a bad day or they want to keep that money, you're kind of effed. So just make sure you're always triple checking who you're sending it to. And a lot of these wallets, I know in Phantom, MetaMask, you can save different addresses. So you don't have to keep copying and pasting, addresses and stuff like that. Like if you're paying somebody for something or, those sorts of things, it's absolutely insane.
Yep. And this right here is Crypto Moses.
He's the guy, dude.
This is who I use, guys. This is who I recommend. He creates content too, but he definitely is very, very good at like just going. He's not a CPA, so he's not going to file your taxes for you, but he can just reconcile everything. So if you say, hey, here's my wallets on Ethereum, here's my wallets on Solana, here's my wallets on Tron, here's pretty much any chain he works with. And he'll just say, hey, he'll send you a spreadsheet afterwards. Hey, here's all the tokens you bought. Here's how much you made. Here's how much you lost. And then you take that and you send it to a tax guy. So that's his Twitter account, guys, right here, Real Crypto Moses. Like I said, he's not a accountant. He's not a CPA. He's just someone that you would pay to say, hey, can you just reconcile all of my trades for this year? You send the wallets. And he's who I use. And he's done a great job so far.
Moses. I met that guy randomly in Vegas for the Karate Combat event, the Influencer Fight Club. Shout out to Cryptos R Us for throwing that. That was actually a good event, even though my opponent pulled out. But I actually randomly met him in Vegas. He's like, yeah, I'm your pop's cousin. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Wild. Yeah, wild.
Yeah, he does a good job. So we have a free Durov trending here. Do you think Durov's going to get out of prison anytime soon? There's a lot of hype.
It's tough.
How do you get out of prison when you're locked in another country in France? Like
he's going to go through the legal system. I mean, what is Russia going to do? I mean, it could create a bigger conflict, but I doubt like any countries are going to have a major war because one person is arrested like that. But it is interesting, right? It is an interesting situation. And just when I felt like the whole Israel and Iran situation was kind of dying down a little bit, now we have this stuff, like World War III beef. Obviously, I don't think it's going to cause World War III, but it's interesting because they're going to make it all about politics, right? And those sorts of things. So, yeah, will he get freed? I don't think so. I think they're going to make him go through the legal system. Maybe they can work something out, but yeah.
Let's take a look through X here. Colin Rugg says,
who's that?
Pop star Lizzo shows off her weight loss progress and announces she is taking a gap year. Good for her. Lizzo has faced strong criticism over the years for being obese, but she is taking a positive step forward by taking her health seriously. Last week, Lizzo shared,
this is interesting,
a video of her weight loss journey so far.
Yeah.
It's unclear how much weight she's lost, but the pop star is encouraging her followers to stay focused. If you're reading this, remember, you can do anything you put your mind to. Stay focused. You got this. I mean, good for her. I think.
It's funny. People like all the women empowerment stuff like that. They say, "What do you think of Lizzo?" Like, "Oh my God, she's beautiful." And then you say, "Would you want to look like her?" They're like, "No." That's interesting. But it's good for her that she's doing this because before she was really laying into the, "I'm just going to be as big as I can. Who cares?" But the truth is, it's just not good for you to be that big.
So good for her for working out.
Good for her,
and like it would be tough. I mean, she probably has millions and millions of followers online.
Oh yeah.
So she probably got a lot of shit.
Big at one time, like not physically, but like star power. Like she was huge at one time.
Yeah. I think she still is. She has good stuff, dude. She's got some bangers.
Like a circus song. I don't like that one.
So good for her. Post says Jeets out. Giga Chan's
bro. I missed. It's Giga Chan. There's another Giga Chan.
I think it's this is on Tron actually.
Giga Chan. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Oh, is that different? Giga. So there's something called Giga Chan's.
Yeah, there's like all kinds of like variations of pop. There's like a Sun Pepe. There's like all kinds of stuff.
Interesting take here from Overdose. He says the biggest cabal is the corporate you work for 12 hours a day, paying you $10 an hour. Enjoy making the founders rich.
Love that. That's a great post. I'm going to copy that one. That's great.
I just retweeted it. What about the cabal? Is the cabal real?
I mean, if the cabal is a bunch of people that hold a large amount of the supply for a crypto that's hitting billions of dollars, then yes, that's fine. Yeah. I think they're obviously with anything, there's a few people that are pushing something that hold a lot of it, that believe in it long term. Because the truth is, like I say, like a lot of these guys are taking a risk. If you're buying a meme coin, even at a small market cap size, that's your investment, right? It could go up, it could go down. It just happens to go up in some of these, right? And maybe there are a group of people that pump things and hype things up. And to me, like I said before, like knowledge is power. Like knowing that is fine, but yeah, I mean, there's definitely a cabal. You could say our group of people. I think cabal just sounds more like marketable.
The cabal. Do you think that investors should take responsibility for their own investments?
I think so. I think they should take more. But I just think that the issue is a knowledge gap. They don't understand, like, it's a wild, wild west in here, man. If you're not protecting your own bags, I don't care what community you're a part of. I don't care what you represent. You need to look out for number one, baby, because everyone else is looking out for number one in this space, and that's you. You know, the person buying the meme coin, the investor, look out for number one. Always look out for number one. I swear to God. How many people, Jake, have we seen fumble hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars because they believe something a dev was saying, or they, you know what I mean? It's just, I mean, how many times? Like,
I mean, all the time.
Nuts.
It happens a lot. It happens to me still. Like if I make a good investment,
me too. Yeah.
I think that the token is going to keep going up. It ends up dumping, and then on the way down, you think it's going to make a recovery, so you hold on until it pretty much goes to zero. So it happens all the time. But I was just thinking about that because, you know, I've made a lot of good calls in cryptocurrency, and sometimes I have a pretty extreme vetting process. Sometimes it doesn't turn out the way because of one or two bad people. Like one or two bad people can really wreck a project. And, you know, some people, which I take the blame, it's warranted. Sometimes some calls don't go. Yeah. But it's also the meme coin space. Like, it's not always going to go great. But I've bought a lot of tokens based off of other KOLs or influencers when they tweet. Yeah. If it doesn't do well, I don't put out a tweet saying like, fuck you, man. I think that influencers are just easier to blame, right? Because you have someone, but in reality, it's like, it's most of the time the developers or it's bad influencers, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of people. What I've learned in this space is like, I don't really trust anybody, bro. I don't care. I mean, you, because I know you and a few other people, but that's because I know them personally. But what I've noticed about this space is that it's a lot of people are living in other countries. They don't care. They don't have a reputation to protect. Not a lot of people are like us. Yeah. Not a lot of people make videos. They don't put their names out there. They don't put like their face out there every day. They're stuck behind some sort of PFP. They're not doxxed for probably a good reason. But yeah, it's like anything, right? If you know, for example, like on with the FTX situation, there's a lot of influencers like finance guys like Graham Stephan, Meet Kevin, who promoted like FTX, and everyone went after those guys for promoting something that was a scam, and they had no clue.
It looked good.
It looked like a layup, bro.
I remember back in 2021, I was making videos and I'm like going through the exchanges, like Binance number 1, Coinbase number 2, FTX number 3, Kraken number 4. I'm like, I don't know one person that uses FTX. Like, it never made sense. I didn't know one person.
Tom Brady.
Did he actually use it though, or did he just partner with them?
Probably not. Yeah.
I didn't know one person. I'm like driving in Miami and I see the FTX arena. I'm like, it never made sense to me. Yeah. Personally, but you know, obviously we saw what happened with FTX. What was the end result for Sam Bankman-Fried?
That situation was wild. I think he got like 20 plus years in jail. I mean, he defended himself. And what's interesting to see is like he was touted as a smart billionaire, this philanthropist who didn't really care about money. Turns out he was living a $35 million like mansion in the Bahamas, right? Just, you know, smacking Addy every day, having orgies and stuff like that. It really goes to show you that no matter how much someone's outward appearance is, you just never know what's going on the inside. And turns out he was just being super irresponsible with trading and over leveraged. And, you know, when the market dipped, a lot of people get exposed. Like, everything's great, fine and dandy when there's liquidity in the market. But once it started to dump, they got exposed. Obviously, their balance sheets were exposed. And yeah, I mean, luckily, I know that they were able to recover a lot of that money. So a lot of people that lost tons of money and that whole downfall are getting repaid. Some people are getting repaid from Voyager. I've seen a lot of checks go out from Voyager. Celsius. I know you don't want, I know it's a touchy subject with you. Shout out to Alex Mashinsky. I think people are going to get paid off some of that. Gemini, I think, got everybody. Yeah. Everybody, I think, back.
A lot of people on Celsius actually had to pay more money.
I heard about that. If you pulled out before.
Yeah, if you pulled off money within 100 days or 90 days before, which I actually did. And it wasn't because I had any inside information from Celsius. Yeah. I was just sitting here because I'm in the crypto space. And I said, hey, Terra Luna just went down. I had like most of my net worth on Celsius because I was getting 12% interest on USDC. Yeah. And I was sitting there one night smoking a cigar on the balcony. I go, if Terra Luna, a $40 billion token, can go to zero overnight. Oh yeah. Well, what is this exchange that's giving everybody 12%? What's going to happen with them? So I always would say, not your keys, not your crypto. Yes. So I made a decision one night, took all my money off Celsius, no inside information, right? I don't know anyone at Celsius. I pulled my money off because I was like, all right, well, if Terra Luna can go down, this could go down too. I'm just going to self-custody. And I ended up having to pay a good portion to Celsius. Yeah. And they were sending letters in the mail saying, hey, we're going to give you X amount of time. You have to pay back like 13% of what you pulled off. If not, we're going to sue you. And I called my brother, who's a lawyer, and I said, should I pay? He goes, you should pay. He's like, it's better off than not having a lawsuit. I'm like, there's no way they're going to sue people for pulling off your own money from Celsius. Yeah. And ultimately, my brother, who's a lawyer, thank God, he's like, just pay it. So I ended up paying it close to 6 figures, not necessarily 6 figures. But the people that didn't pay it, they got sued. They're in a settlement or a case, not a settlement. They're getting sued by Celsius for not paying, for taking off their money ahead of them going bankrupt, even though I had no idea. But it's just how bankruptcy works. I consulted my brother, who's a lawyer. I consulted a lot of people that are lawyers, and they're like, yeah, that's just how bankruptcy works. You should pay it. They all consoled me to pay it. I didn't want to pay it, but I was like, I don't want to get sued by Celsius, so I paid it. And I ultimately did not get sued. And a lot of people online, they just ignored it, or they didn't get the emails, and they ended up getting sued by Celsius. Now they have to go to court, and they're probably going to get sued for the full amount that they pulled off, as opposed to 13%. But I think it's a flaw in our legal system a little bit, but it's just how the laws are written when it comes to bankruptcy. Yeah,
and that's the downfall and pitfall for some of these centralized exchanges, is that if you guys understand, there's no insurances for centralized exchanges. If they go under for some reason, which a lot of them are better than others, that's why I love Coin. I mean, who knows what the future looks like for Coinbase, but they're here in the United States, publicly traded company. They've been thugging it out since 2014. Brian Armstrong is a GOAT, in my opinion, in the space. A lot of people have their opinions on them. What's up, Jayhawk and Gennaro? We got the fam in the house. But yeah, with these centralized exchanges, guys, the risk is if you hold a large amount of money in these guys and they go under for some reason, or there's a run on them, like people started taking all their money all at once, like understand that if they go to bankruptcy, like you're going to be the last person to get whatever's left over, because they owe a lot of people, creditors, debtors, whoever they owe first, and they're going to claw back and go back to people who maybe pulled out and those sorts of things. So centralized exchanges are good to like on ramp and off ramp, but if you're storing a large amount of crypto and currency in there, just know that there's always that danger, you know.
Yeah, it's it really is the wild west. I think Alex Mashinsky, let's see what he
what a guy. I mean, he pulled him and his wife pulled out a bunch of money before it collapsed.
Yeah,
I wonder how they knew it was going down. Wild. You have Kayla in the house too. Kayla, what's up, Kayla? How you doing?
Alex Mashinsky, what happened to him?
Quick question. Would you guys recommend a cold wallet migration? I would. Just make sure you know exactly what you're doing. Send test transactions. Understand how to use cold storage wallets. Ledger is, their interface is fantastic, in my opinion. It's so easy to use. So easy to like cross swap from different chains and stuff like that. So yeah, I would definitely recommend not having all your crypto in a centralized exchange, for sure.
I would recommend having none.
Yeah, I mean, a little bit's okay. I just make sure they're trustworthy, you know, because even Binance, even though they went through a lot of FUD, had to pay a lot of money, they're still the #1 exchange when it comes to volume.
This is a long article. I just want to see how long. He had approximately on June 22nd, 2020, June 12th, 2022, Celsius announced it was halting all customer withdrawals, which is crazy, just to say you can't get your money off. At which time, hundreds of thousands of Celsius customers, many of whom were retail investors, still had approximately 4.7 billion worth of crypto on the platform. I want to find out how long he's serving. It's a wild sentence.
Man, Celsius was into. He's like, don't trust. What do you say? Like, don't trust
banks. Unbank yourself. Our platform's safe.
Should have trusted your bank.
I was listening to him too. I kept my money on, but I thankfully pulled it off. I mean, it still sucks. I had to pay them back. But I mean, once again, let's see. So 20 years, 10 years. Yeah, he had a lot of, I mean, hundreds of years.
Jeez.
What's this? Israel residence? Oh, Mashinsky. So his age is 57. I mean, he got like 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, over 100 years.
My goodness, yeah.
And then Pavan Cohen. I don't know who that is. Maybe someone higher up. 20, 40, 60, 65 years.
My goodness, yeah. Wow.
Well, they wrecked hundreds of thousands of people.
Yeah. You destroyed a lot of lives. And those are the catastrophes people see, the ones that make headlines and leave a bad stain in. Because the meme coin space, like only we really know about it, but it's those major catastrophes that wreck people on a grand scale. I mean, I saw some story of some guy who was just buying tons of Bitcoin, putting it in FTX, you know, going out on a limb, you know, because Bitcoin itself is not bad, but if you're not self-custodying it, right? If you have it in a exchange, I mean, things could go sideways quick. And I feel bad for that guy because entire life savings. His wife was like, you know, skeptical about Bitcoin, and now they probably hate it, not knowing that it wasn't a Bitcoin issue, it was a centralization issue.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, man, it really is just the wild west. Yeah. But yeah, he was saying unbank yourself. I was believing him, and honestly, it hit to me. So I was still working at my job at the time. I was probably making like $4,000 a month at my job. It was like a 70,000 plus year salary, whatever, which was good.
It's good, yeah.
But my Celsius was paying me like 8,000. And I was like, wait, I'm making double as much to just hold my crypto on this platform than I am 40 hours a week, 4 weeks a month. I was like, something didn't make sense. So I made a decision to pull my crypto off. Good decision. But yeah, I was definitely a little bit shocked when they hit me up with that notice saying, hey, you have to pay us back 13% or else you're getting sued. Yeah. And thankfully I did pay them back.
I think a good question to ask yourself, like, is this too good to be true? And if that answer is yes, it probably is. Like, I was into DAOs a lot, like the Olympus DAO, Jade Protocol, Time Wonderland, and all of those absolutely like were catastrophes, and they were offering insane APY. Now you can offer that insane APY when there's tons of liquidity in the market, when you get in early and those sorts of things. But as time goes on, all these protocols break. There's a reason why like a regular bank doesn't give you like insane interest rates, because it's not sustainable. Right. There's probably better versions, right? When you stake USDC on Coinbase or something like that, it's pretty good compared to a bank. But there's a reason why these insane, numbers that they market to you seem so like appealing, is because it's not real, at least not long term, right? Because a lot of people were making money on like, it's called Anchor Protocol for Terra Luna. Like a lot of people are making 20% for months, but all good things come to an end.
Look at this. This is the average interest rate. So as of August 2024, the average interest rate for savings accounts in the United States is 0.46%.
Yeah.
I think Celsius was like 12%.
Oh, baby. Yeah.
On your USDC.
Anchor Protocol was 20%.
I've seen some that are like 1,000%.
Some DAOs, yeah.
It doesn't make any sense. No, it's impossible.
It's impossible. It's unsustainable. Like I think that a lot of the DeFi guys understand that the centralized finance guys got some things right. Like obviously, we have an inflation issue and those sorts of. We're just printing money, right? Our dollar is backed by, trust me, bro. Pretty much, it's a world reserve currency. But they have some things right. Then there's a reason why like a lot of these protocols just break over time.
Yep. So we'll answer these two questions. Is it safe to leave your Bitcoin on Coinbase? Me and Rodney can't answer like these questions like that, but I can just tell you that I don't leave my Bitcoin on Coinbase. I put it into a hardware wallet. I'm sure you have the same answer. And real quick, Gennaro says, what's the biggest reasons you both got into crypto? And then specifically meme coins. Honestly, for me, getting into crypto was really just in 2016, I was looking for I was still in college. I was looking for what's the best investment. I was like, how can I turn a little bit of money into a lot? Was reading about Bitcoin, was reading about crypto. Everything about Bitcoin at that time was a scam. It was a scam. It was a scam. Head of New York Times scam.
Oh yeah.
But when I first bought my cryptos, Bitcoin was $3,000. Ethereum was like under 300.
What a guy.
And there was only 3 cryptocurrencies on Coinbase: Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin. So that's when I got in. And obviously, like everything, even today, I was dating a girl from Italy, and if I wanted to send her money, I sent her money many times, wire transfer, right? International wire transfer. It took over a week. Twice it didn't go through because I had her wrong SWIFT number or wrong address. Like it's very, very complicated. Where if I wanted to send her ETH, I could do it like that.
Yeah.
So there's just so many reasons when it comes to crypto. How about you? What are the main reasons you got in?
Yeah. So honestly, I think a lot of people on cryptocurrency are kind of like libertarian. They're kind of like, they like self-sovereign, right? They're power to the people, kind of like get government out of my business. That's one reason. But the other reason, honestly, was like by accident. Like obviously, in 2021 is when I got in like early, which is like not that long ago. But being in the content space, like I'm in the trenches every single day. I started with Bitcoin. I started with Dogecoin. I started with like Cardano and stuff like that. Things you could buy on Robinhood and like Webull at the time. And then it just started. I heard about meme coins. I opened up my Coinbase exchange. I realized that I couldn't buy meme coins on Coinbase exchange. They only track the charts. And so I got Uniswap, and then I started making content, and then the rest is history. But what I liked about it too is like it feels like true freedom, right? It feels like what actual currency is supposed to be. Not really controlled by anyone. No one's really like gatekeeping it and those sorts of things. And the big thing is being able to just send people things or receive things without any intermediary, right? No third party saying this and saying that and those sorts of things.
I like it's registered on the blockchain. I think that would be something so big in the political world. Like NFTs. When it comes to donations, like the fact that these people are making, like most politicians make $200,000 to $250,000 a year, and their net worths are a lot of them are over 20 million.
Why? How do they do that?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. So I think like donations on the blockchain, obviously it's like still decentralized. You don't know who's sending money, but you know that, hey, this is RF. But even then there's ways around it, right? Like RFK has a public wallet. Exactly. He could have a separate wallet that he's, receiving. So I don't know. But I do believe, Kayla said super clean stream. Just didn't get a notification. You guys
we're live on Jake's channel.
Yeah,
Jake's channel. Yeah, I think that we just got to post more to get back in the algorithm. I don't think we're shadow banned or anything like that.
No, I think I haven't posted a YouTube video on this
People
channel.
People use that word loosely, shadow banned. Like, I don't think we're like I'm shadow banned. It's like you probably haven't posted in a while.
We haven't posted on YouTube in over 3 months, but we here are on X, and we have 4,000 viewers total.
Nice,
which is
I love that. That's really good for the first stream. Yeah,
for the first stream, 4,000. We're going to try to get it to 10,000 every stream. And for those that are watching, we do this every single weekday, same time. So if you guys enjoyed this, come back tomorrow. We'll be live tomorrow. I think we're going to be doing a Twitter space in about 4 hours as well.
Yes, sir. Yep.
So we're going to do a little bit on,
Pumped.
I mean, this is on Twitter as well. We're going to start doing on Rumble, Kick, YouTube. We'll stay consistent. And then every single day, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 8 a.m. PST. And then we're going to be doing our spaces at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 1 p.m. PST. And we're going to try to switch up the topics a little bit. But good for a space. We went for an hour.
Yeah.
We have Jayhawk. We have
Got the
Hog.
OGs in here. Yeah.
Hog's in here.
Bree's
here. Remember, for 35 months.
Yeah. Wild.
That's 3 years.
That's crazy.
We're going on 3 years.
I'm jealous.
That's how long we've been doing this.
Damn it,
Bree
Bree.
stayed a member the whole time.
Bree, cancel that membership.
Don't ever cancel it. Y'all are goat shielders. I don't think we shield anything. Shout out to Jayhawk. Thank you so much. Idea for tomorrow. Can you guys chat about how you escaped your jobs? Absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm happy to tell that story.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Justin Incredible's here as well. But that's the show. Thank you guys for tuning in. And we will be live tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Peace out, guys. Have a good one.
Peace.